Yo, family, what's good? Welcome back to another live stream where in today's stream, as the title suggests, it looks very, very bearish. And it is, but it isn't. It's a bit clickbaity. Apologies. But we have got two very, very interesting posts which talk on the death of crypto, if you will. But it's not so much crypto is dead, it's that we are going through an evolution right now. And with the evolution, what's going to happen is what we've been talking about in this community for months, if not years now, where 99% of cryptos are going to go to zero because they offer no utility, because they are useless, because they are cryptos. They aren't protocols or infrastructures trying to build something, trying to fix an issue, which of course is why my conviction in Kaspa stays up and grows by the day. Look at the market chart. We saw something very, very interesting earlier. We go on Bitcoin right now. We go to the shorter time frame, going to the hourly time frame. We saw a nice spike happening about 7 hours ago from us right now. Bitcoin going from 87k, breaking by the level of resistance right here, going up to 89, almost 90k. And in fact, it did surpass 90k momentarily before reversing, coming straight back down, and now we're sitting at $85,800 Bitcoin, back into the support pocket right now. Will we make a recovery? Again, time will tell. We're still seeing headwinds and uncertainty in the market. Japan still very much weighing in as well. From KYC letter here, we can see you can't make this up. Bitcoin just surged $3,000 in 1 hour, reclaiming 90k, as $120 million worth of leveraged shorts were liquidated. So the shorts got liquidated, but then minutes later, $200 million worth of leveraged longs were then liquidated, with Bitcoin now down to 86k. That's a $140 billion swing in market cap for Bitcoin, no less. The number one crypto asset, the perceived stable crypto asset in this market, the gold, digital gold, $140 billion price swing in 2 hours. Leverage is out of control. I'm very much entitled to believe this by design, again, to try and force investors to get out of this market as it's being restructured and incorporated into the financial system. We are seeing more regulators coming on board, things taking shape as we'll talk about later on as well. But due to that volatility as well, we're looking at Kaspa right now. Again, Kaspa currently down 5.64%. Again, it did rebound momentarily off this bottom support level of 4.15 cents. And it is entirely possible, given the headwinds and the potential price action going in the short term, that Kaspa could come down to the support level down here as well. We are looking like we're in a bit of a downtrend right now. Of course, that's my own belief, not financial advice. You've got to do your own research. Kaspa is currently down 5.59 cents, valued at 4.22 cents. I am still under the impression that Kaspa will make a recovery when the markets are in a better condition. Will it start pumping during a so-called bear market like it did last time? Who knows, right? Who knows? But we have got some very, very, very interesting posts to get through. These are two big posts, one by Dougie here, who seemingly, from the way he's constructed his message here, he seems to be a developer or builder of some sort. And then we also got another one here from Parker Schmidt, who has ultimately, from what I can tell, almost kind of read through this and then kind of correlated it in his own words, but correlated that to Kaspa as well. And the KRI were very, very happy about this. And I know why they were. Because ultimately, the long and short of it, before we get into it in more detail, because it is important to get into it in more detail so we actually understand what's being spoken about. Long and short of it is, these two posts are basically saying that the assets that are perceived just as crypto and are being pushed out as crypto projects, they won't survive. Because, I mean, think about it. You've got every single government institution now getting involved in crypto, but they don't call it crypto, do they? They call them digital assets. They don't call them crypto. They don't like the term crypto. If you are still using the term crypto, you are on the chopping block. We don't call Kaspa, or we do call Kaspa a true cryptocurrency, but Kaspa is more than that. It's a protocol. It's infrastructure. And better still, as the KRI fronted Kaspa to, not KRI, well, KRI and DRI fronted Kaspa to their enterprise clients. Kaspa was not mentioned in the context of cryptocurrency. It was presented as infrastructure tools for delivering a solution to this industrial sector. So what we're going to talk about, these two main posts, and then some other big updates like this one here from EasyODev. This one's actually really, really big about how we're seeing 300 people, developers want to help to jump on board. It's huge. What we're going to talk about ultimately is the perceived thought that crypto is dead, which it is, but not in the doom and gloom bearish sense. It's just a matter of understanding that this economy, this industry is evolving. So we'll get into that in a very, very short moment, but just quickly before we do, just get into some real questions. We've got Kennedy, welcome back, brother. You're doing very, very well. Why is it out of control? It's out of control for a good reason, not for a bad reason. It's out of control for a good reason because you're seeing more and more developments taking place. Things are accelerating right now, which is really reassuring news, but we'll get to that again a little bit later on. Welcome back, Devious Bro, you're doing very, very well. And YouTube, Bingo Bango. Blaze, welcome back. Kaspa is king indeed. XRP ain't it QC. Trust me, Dung, I know. I don't hold XRP anymore. I sold my entire bag of XRP a while back. I mean, Ripple have got it's not a full national bank, trust bank license. It's a conditional national trust bank license, which means they are also now trying to go for a Fed master account license, which if they do get that would put XRP in a stronger standing. But I'm not under the impression that XRP is going to be the solution for what's coming out right now. It's centralized. It's not what money is meant to be. Welcome back, Brett, bro. You're doing very, very well. Kryptoni again, brother. You too, welcome back. LB on the check-in, welcome again. Any names? What's up? Welcome back indeed. Start over, you jumped in too fast. Well, then you better put Kaspa at the top of that list then. Kaspa is at the top of the list. Whatever list you're referring to, yes, Kaspa is the top of the list. Start over, I started too fast. If I missed too much, trust me, we've just kind of been laying the foundation to what we're actually going to start talking about Kryptoni, which is this crypto is dead stuff here. So from Dougie here, it's the first one I want to cover. Crypto is dead. I don't mean prices will go to zero. I don't mean chains stop producing blocks or stablecoins quietly vanish. I mean something very uncomfortable for people like me who spent the better part of the last decade living inside the industry. I've built my career, my network, and a lot of my identity around crypto. I've lived through the ICO boom, the DeFi summer, the NFT mania, the points, meta, meme coins, pretty much all of it. In Telegram chats, on crypto Twitter, at conferences, and in many founder calls where the starting assumption was the same. Crypto is perceived at the center of the universe. The job is to make the universe bigger. But according to this individual here, and truth be told, I've been playing with the same similar thoughts with myself for a while. I've been kind of hinting at it for a while, I think, as well. Crypto is the future of finance, but the term or the coin term crypto isn't. Crypto technology is. The idea that you can have payments, or be it anything, but in this instance, payments we're going to talk about. You can have payments sent to and fro in seconds for a fraction of the cost as opposed to using Swift. That is an upgrade. So crypto is going to definitely level up the financial sector, no shadow of a doubt. Not to mention everything else they can upgrade as well going forward. And you can tokenize everything on a blockchain, real estate, equities, debt. You know, there's so much you could do with crypto technology, but crypto isn't the center of the universe. Crypto as a self-contained world is dying. The tech is about to dissolve into everything else. The infrastructure that's going to survive are the ones that are invisible. And I've said this time and time again. I remember saying it years back, actually. You think about the internet. We have the internet right now. When you type in this channel, www.youtube.com/quickcrypto21, whatever the actual name is, do you type that in? When you think about typing that in, or, I mean, you don't actually type that in, but let's just say you type that into the URL. What you don't think about, the fact that you actually have HTTP at the very front. HTTPS // You don't think that you type that in first. That part's invisible. That's the future of this space, what is being built. What matters is how invisible, what matters is how seamlessly it builds on top of it, but it's invisible. The people who mistake the old bubble for the end state are going to get left behind. Those who believe that crypto is dying and it's going to go to zero and it's dead, they're gonna miss out. Don't get me wrong, there are going to be many assets that do go to zero. But then this is where this is why I've been saying this whole year has been proof that this pump and dump meme coin hype cycle is a thing of the past. It doesn't matter anymore. How many major catalysts have we seen this year? In the last 2 or 3 months, JP Morgan have finally got involved in, they're creating their first tokenized money market fund. They're offering Bitcoin as collateral. JP Morgan, the biggest drivers of Operation Chokepoint 2.0 and anti-crypto campaigns, they're now getting involved in crypto. Vanguard, the $11 trillion asset manager, they were saying we are never going to offer crypto to our clients, and now they've got XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin ETFs offering to their clients now. These are major catalysts, and look what happened to the price. Of course, mainly looking at Bitcoin here. The price did nothing. This is when Vanguard started doing their thing. It was around here. I think Vanguard announced their ETFs around here. So we saw some movement, but lackluster, when actually below that. FOMO is not what matters anymore. Of course, it will still have some effect, exchange listing and whatnot. Like if you got a Binance for Kaspa, for example, that would correlate to some positive price movements. But it doesn't set up for long-term success. And even then, FOMO has a much more lackluster effect now. Much more lackluster. So why is he still bullish? Why am I still bullish? What's the premise of this stream today? The death is the gateway to something bigger than the industry we've been defending. So the bubble that we built was optimized for everything, basically creating an ecosystem for the crypto users to use. But what matters now is not so much what the drop of the token points, spin liquidity mining, all these turn on referral codes, all these developments that help kind of build up the crypto space is fantastic, but it's not matter what the crypto space is anymore. This is the crypto for crypto meta, closed loop incentives aimed at the same cluster of addresses that already know how to farm, rotate, and dump. When founders say user acquisition, what they often mean is recycling the same wallets everyone else is fighting over. The goal now, as institutional dollars now coming in, is not to stay within the cryptoverse, it's to tap into the broader financial and traditional landscape. The only way you do that is if you make your infrastructure so unique but so innovative that it's being built on top of, but it's invisible, nobody knows about it. In the future to be, you're going to have the entire financial landscape running on top of crypto, but you won't know it's crypto. The same way how you don't think about you type in HTTP on the internet. For me, Kaspa is going to be that infrastructure. And I don't think you have one infrastructure. You got Windows, you got Apple, Mac, you've got Linux, you've got other protocols and other elements that you can, go on top of. I think Kaspa is going to be the best one, the safest one. But you won't have just one, of course, because there's going to be a fight for who's going to be the best one to come out of that. So what does he mean by dead here? And if crypto as a self-contained industry dissolves, the sharp line between crypto and fintech, AI infra, payments, markets, and casinos blurs. Crypto startups stop being a real category. It's just a startup that happens to use blockchain. Most crypto native only apps die and stay permanently small. If your TAM is people who already spend all day on chain, you're building in a cul-de-sac. There will always be a niche there, and some people will do well, but it's not how this tech changes the world. Calling something crypto or Web3 stops helping with users. I'm going to say that again. Calling something crypto or Web3 stops helping with users, regulators, or capital. And then I bring up this post here again from the KRI. KRI, DI Desert Energy at the summit at the beginning of November, they fronted Kaspa to the institutional clients, SGCC, Abu Dhabi's Future Energy Company, Siemens Energy, GE Vernova, EDF, PLC, and many, many more. They fronted Kaspa not as a crypto, as an infrastructure tool delivering solutions to this industrial sector. They're not calling it crypto because they understand the negative perception that has. They're doing that already. Ordinary founders integrate the rails without adopting the identity. They are interested in Kaspa. You've heard KRI mention how, Roy O'Neill mentioned how they are already minting renewable energy tickets on Kaspa's mainnet. They're building Gigawatt, they're building Warp Core, they're building ZETEX and many other projects that we aren't even aware of right now due to non-disclosure agreements. But the point being is they are fronting Kaspa as an infrastructure to a solution, not a crypto, which is, for me, the most important element of this post here. If you are still perceived as a cryptocurrency and that's your only identity, then you're in trouble. If you think about Ethereum is a cryptocurrency, but it is widely perceived as infrastructure because everyone's building on top of it. It's the biggest ecosystem. No one cares for Ethereum per se, but they care the fact that you can build on it and get integrated into blockchain. Now, Ethereum's not fantastic. It's slow, it's chunky, it's centralized. It won't be the future, in my belief, but it's a foundation for developers, for builders, for institutions to build on top of, to get an idea, to play around in this before they end up forking off into where the actual future lies. Crypto doesn't win by turning the world into crypto native. It wins when nobody has to be crypto native to benefit from it. The death I'm talking about, the death of crypto as a self-conscious, separate world that expects everyone else to walk into our universe, learn our language, and adopt our rituals. Crypto's got to become invisible. It's got to be seamless. Success comes from that, when normal people use crypto without even realizing they're using crypto. Most people are going to still be going on their banks, taking money in and out on their banking system, be it JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Santander, Standard Chartered, whatever it is. They're going to do that continuously, but they're not going to end up realizing that they're actually getting more out of it. It's going quicker. There's less transaction fees because it's running onto a blockchain. It's running onto a crypto. It's not as simple as DJs versus normies, though. It's a massive middle class we've mostly ignored. People who are tech savvy, care about privacy and control, and or like direct exposure to the markets, but have zero interest in yield or point farming. They want things like self-custody without adopting crypto-native culture. They want better rails, not a new personality. Which is why we are seeing this space evolve. What deserves to survive? Permissionless access, global liquidity and 24/7 markets, composability, user ownership, and some other interesting elements as well. Crypto as the back end of the world here. The old playbook is fading, but what comes next? Where does the money head towards from here? Now, this is in his perception here. He's not a financial advisor. He seems to be a developer, but I have similar beliefs, something that I've been looking in for a while. The reason why I stuck to Kaspa, because it is an infrastructure tool. The three critical elements that allows you to become either a winner or a loser as an investor side of things is infrastructure, not your meme coins. Don't get me wrong, you'll still make money through meme coins. It'll still happen. They're going to be, casinos still exist in today's world, right? So meme coins will still exist. It's going to happen. But what's going to matter in the future, what's going to end up taking over the space, becoming key in this current evolution we're going through right now, infrastructure, those who are building the foundation. And then you look at the infrastructure tools they have right now. You think about infrastructure right now, you've got Solana, Ethereum, XRP Ledger, Sui, the list goes on and on and on. And that is when, before we get back into this post here, we go into this post here as well. Talking about the death of casino, the birth of a clock. Crypto is dead is half right. So a similar concept here. Crypto has only been around for less than 2 decades. You can only build something that is guaranteed to last by modeling it on something that has been needed for centuries, like clocks. The closed loop crypto land is currently built. The CT casino and the same 50 wallets rotating liquidity between slightly different yield farms are hitting a ceiling. The people cheering for crypto land in its different forms, death are right. The subculture crypto is finished, but where we are seeing right now, the idea that proof of stakes, this element, they are also in a between a rock and a hard place, if you will, if how I'm going to perceive it, between a rock and a hard place right now. Because what we have to understand is the problem with current models. In proof of stake, speed comes from knowing the validators ahead of time. You select the committee, then they work, select the work. This makes them fast, but it makes them targets, probable. It makes them, a weakness because you know who they are. And if you know who they are, as humans are inevitably greedy, you can take advantage of that. You just got to know what it is they want. You've got to trust someone to have a good conscience. In a decentralized infrastructure, everybody's contributing. You can't target enough people to get what you want, especially when you have Kaspa that has 100 BPS and even other elements coming through as well that'll make it even harder for you to gain more control of the network in that regard. Kaspa, fast proof of work, flips the model, work first, select later. You don't need a committee. Every block is a statistical proof that it has outworked the network. That means you can crank the block rate to 10 or even 100 BPS without appointing a ruling class of stakers who continue to grow with power as they accumulate more of their favorite coin. Kaspa for me is, as we all believe in this community, in this live stream, we've been here for a while now, that Kaspa is the true future of, I guess, finance as an infrastructure tool. Again, once more talking about the KII and DII are fronting to their clients, and their clients are not small names. SGCC, State Grid Corporation of China, is the top 3 Fortune 500 company global, and it's been top 3 for the last 6 years. In fact, I'm going to load it up right now. Fortune.com company State Grid. State Grid Corporation of China, that is the exact company that is one of DII's biggest clients. A $500 billion annual revenue here. You can see here, State Grid in 2025, number 3 behind Amazon and Walmart. 2024, same thing. 23, it was Saudi Aramco as opposed to Amazon, but still top 3. 22, same thing. 21, they were actually number 2 behind Walmart. 21, equally top 3. It's only in 2019 that they were below that, and they were still top 5. This is one of the companies, one of the numerous massive entities that KII and DII are working alongside, and they are fronting Kaspa to these clients as not as a crypto, but as an infrastructure tool, which is the main premise of what these 2 articles are talking about here. Winners and losers. For builders, losers. Teams building only for crypto Twitter. And the same small ring of on-chain addresses. Founders whose primary skills is farms, points programs, and emission schedules. The winners are teams that start from real user adoption. Real user problems. Didn't Kaspa start with the idea of decentralization? That's a real problem is the centralization of this whole financial market, the whole world. They started from a real problem from the get-go. They use crypto as an implementation detail. Founders willing to be boring where it matters. I can agree, I think we all can agree, Kaspa, when it comes to the founders, brilliant minds, they're boring in the best way possible. They are building, they don't, when do we see hype stuff come out from the founders? They don't blag stuff on Twitter. They've been a bit more active as of late, but they are pump and dump all that sort of stuff as well. Cryptoni with the $2 donation, thank you very much, brother, for that. Google the Cantillon effect really quick. Sure, I shall. I shall do that real quick. Cantillon effect. Cantillon effect is an economic theory by Richard Cantillon, explaining that when new money enters an economy, it doesn't raise all prices equally. Instead, early recipients, so financial institutions and large corporations, benefit most as they spend the money before prices fully adjust, while later recipients, workers and general consumers, face higher prices being inflation, with the same amount of money increasing inequity and benefiting the rich at the expense of the poor. I mean, that is exactly what's happening right now. So, yeah, the winners of that is the ones who are wealthy. They're taking wealth from the poor middle class effectively. That's exactly what's happening right now. I completely agree. And this is that was the problem that Kaspa had been trying to solve. Money that is available for everybody to use, not just for the ultra wealthy. For investors, the losing here is funds those theses is crypto is for crypto people and who underwrite reflexity as a business model. The winners of investor side of things, investors underwriting demand, attention, and path to durable distribution in broad markets, payments, credit, identity, markets, and data. Kaspa is targeting all of those, and KRI helping Kaspa target all of those as well. And for existing industries, the losers come down to people whose identity is, I was early, the world must adapt to me. Notice how when I say I am early, we are early, I don't say we are early, they're going to come, like they're going to adapt. No, you've got to, one thing I've always said as well is you've got to understand that we as humans are evolutionary, we are adaptable by nature. The reason why humans are top of the food chain is because we are adaptable. We wouldn't be a fight with a bear, but we can create guns to win a fight against a bear. You know? It's our brain, it's our mind, it's our adaptability that makes us the best. They don't come to us. You've got to be able to understand the trends and go with it. Except that refuse integration, you've got to be interoperable. And says pure crypto is the only correct vision. But the winners are the teams that ship rails and products that real users love and or depend on, plug into existing financial and consumer flows, and collaborate when it brings new demand on chain. Embedding into the real economy is where the enduring massive win sits. That is where we're at right now. This is why I still wholeheartedly believe that Kaspa is in a very, very, very strong position. Because what we're seeing right now is ultimately just institutions are now getting involved. They're trying to, of course, get the Cantillon effect, as Tony highlighted earlier, where they're trying to, gain the capital from the self and make the poor stay poor, benefiting off them. We're at the point now where we're also seeing this migration from this crypto casino into this crypto landscape, this infrastructure utility cycle. That's what's coming towards us. We're looking to infrastructure. And right now in this space, crypto, I see, and I agree, Kaspa right now is the only infrastructure that has been developed that actually can handle the rails. Solana can't. It continuously crashes. And again, as you go back to the post we mentioned here, when it comes down to proof of stakes, any proof of stake has an inherent issue. Because you know who these validators are ahead of time, they are a weak point because you can bribe them. You can target them. So right now, when it comes to a really solid monetary layer infrastructure for the future to be, every single even Ripple XRP, you might argue the XRP ledger decentralized, although I would beg to differ. You could argue that, but because Ripple, the companies behind them, you could just target Ripple, and that inherently impacts the whole model underneath them as well. Where do you attack Kaspa from? Because it's truly decentralized. You can't attack anybody in Kaspa. When you get the network growing more and more, you get more validators online, more miners back online as well, because the hash rate has been dropping because the price is dropping as well. When it starts running up more so, it becomes significantly harder to attack Kaspa. So, as it stands right now, crypto is seemingly dying, or crypto is dead. But it's not a bad thing. At least not my personal belief. It's not a bad thing. It's just going through its natural course of being crypto into finance, where it's actually broadening out into the wider horizon. Those who stay true to it, just saying it's got to be crypto, you're going to lose out. You've got to understand you're migrating into this space. That, again, is what the KRI is doing. I'm going to keep showing this to people who are joining in now, or those who just drill it into you guys watching and girls watching. What matters is not that it's crypto, is that it is solving a real issue. And KRI and DRI are not pushing Kaspa out to their clients as a cryptocurrency, but as an infrastructure tool. They learn about it being crypto and they're like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But they don't know, they only know it's crypto because they've looked up to it. They want to be like, oh, that sounds like a great tool. It can do this, that, and the other. It's decentralized. I want to find out more about it. Oh yeah, you can get it on Kraken Exchange. What Roy O'Neill said to his clients. This is where we're going, right? That's where we're heading. That's why it's so important. This is why I still wholeheartedly believe in Kaspa. The path it's taking is a significant one. Price volatility and regulatory implications dominate the public discourse, but these are only service distractions. This is noise. What matters more is the infrastructure being built underneath the technology as the entire financial landscape starts to migrate over. Focus on the network that's being built and what will require to run it. If you believe in the future of the internet requires a neutral, unbribable way to prove what happened and when, you don't build it on a council of stakers, you need it built on a high-speed proof of work. The protocol protects itself. This is why casinos closing, a truth verification layer is opening. Kaspa's the only one that can fit that role, fill that gap, in my personal belief. Kaspa can go down in price from here. Crypto can very well go down in price from here. I've been transparent about that. It's not me trying to be bearish, it's me trying to be realistic. Because we're not in a position right now where there are any immediate catalysts to send crypto higher. We are starting to get some QE, which is nice. We are getting some developments and regulations as well, which is also nice. We can see here, we'll get into this a bit more in a moment now, but we're seeing some more developments regarding crypto regulations. It won't take shape though properly till next year. So we've still got a while to wait. And while we are still waiting in limbo, and many people still are under the impression that the 4-year cycle is still a thing, crypto could probably continue to see a lot of pressure. But it is also setting up for the next level up, the next run up as we're going into a utility cycle. That's why I continue to hold Kaspa. I sold a lot of my bags and other stuff I was holding. I made my gains. But I'm DCing into Kaspa. I'm buying more Kaspa because I do believe it's going to be an infrastructure that does take over the space. And you're seeing a lot of developments coming out in that regard as well to prove as such. EasyODev recently was onboarded by the KEF. He's now one of the core developers for Kaspa for a year. And he made this post here, which Michael Sutton was very, very pleased about, because basically EasyODev created or showcased this line of this bootstrap, if you will, that allows developers, external developers and Web3 developers to easily build on top of what the core's talking about. In fact, let me find that post from Michael Sutton, because the post in itself, look, some folks connect research with core development. Now we have a Kaspa core contributor, EasyODev, who's capable of connecting the ecosystem with the core technology. I find that to be a strategic strength. He's making it easier for developers and builders to come on board, and as a result of that, 310 people initiated a project using the CLI in 12 hours. Kaspa's not out of builders. Not by a long shot. That's why the title of this stream says what it is. Kaspa's out of control. Developments are ramping up incredibly right now. The price does not reflect that. Because the crypto market's going down, we're in a downtrend. Why would the price reflect that right now? FOMO does not matter anymore. Macroeconomics matters in regards to the price action, and also the foundation being built is why it helps push forward as well. That's what is important. And we've got so much more coming out as well. TLDR, and we've got this whole article from Cast Media, which is Jennifer alongside Nick Zabra as well. We've got a first look into Dagnite, early protocol recently, which is huge. Jonathan Polinsky clarifies that VPROG's direction, where we're going to go from there as well. We've got the road to programmability, where we expect a Covenant hard fork in the next 3 to 6 months from now, laying the groundwork for VPROG's Dagnite and 100 block per second, which positions Kaspa to become both sound money and a programmable base layer. And we're seeing new apps emerging. Dagnite, VPROGs, the next level up. You've seen demos of CAD Oracle from XXIM. Crypto Aspect mentioned who's the developer behind the project Sparkle we heard 2 years back, the layer 1.5. He shared that he had decided to sunset Sparkle and consolidate his efforts under Kaspa's VPROG roadmap, citing strong architectural alignment between the two designs. In essence, VPROG's design is very similar to Sparkle's layer 2 design. Not the same, but it's very similar. So he's now putting more effort into VPROGs as well from the looks of things, which is fantastic. We see the falling off of Cas 5. We see the birth of, mainly right now, the main one being Kaspa Stream, which is great, although, as Easier highlights here as well, great product, but it is not open source, which is, of course, why it will forever be tough to be perceived as the official new Kaspa Explorer. I like Kaspa Stream, but that is something that is very, very True. Very true point to make. If you want to try and find one that will be open source to kind of fit that Kaspa ethos. New builders are coming online. We hold this new update as well that makes it easier for exchanges and applications and builders to come on top of Kaspa as well. We saw Cat Bridge being audited. Codex, centralized media platform, getting some updates as well. Cassia and Casanova wallet integration, easier dev, new code, all these stuff that's taking place right now. It's been a very, very busy week for Kaspa. The building has ramped up ridiculously, and that again coincides to these posts about crypto is dead. Kaspa's not building for crypto, it's building infrastructure that will solve real problems. Those with money, they realize that. Those who see Kaspa as a solution, they are realizing that. Kaspa currency, represented by the KRI presented alongside these global heavyweights, is definitely a strategic milestone that signals strong institutional positioning for real-world energy, digital infrastructure, AI-powered systems, and hydrogen value chain opportunities. Its alignment with 4500 level industrial actors demonstrates the increasing relevance of decentralized, high-throughput digital settlement technologies in the next generation of clean energy market. And as Lemon Bush Capital, or Kaspa Intern, aka Angel, highlighted here, the director to Baltic and Latin America at Lemon Bush, highlighted that they are trying to do some significant developments right now. We'll hear more on Q1 2026. Hopefully it does come to fruition. But he, in his own belief, and in our belief as well, he's convinced that Kaspa is a powerhouse of innovation, research, and revolutionary tech that will impact the world. But when this tech meets industrial players who spent centuries building the backbone of global infrastructure, that's when the impact becomes exponential. Look at these institutions. PLC, 145-year lifespan. Siemens Energy, 150-plus-year lifespan. You've got Air Products, 84-year lifespan. EDF, 78. You've got some huge, long-standing players and equally some high capital coming in as well. They're the ones looking at Kaspa now. They're the ones looking at Kaspa right now. Not as a crypto, as an infrastructure tool. Crypto's dying. You're going to see many go to zero. Infrastructure tools, utility, use case. That's what matters. That's why Son Polinsky has pivoted quite heavily to focusing on adoption now. Because he probably also equally realizes that the migration, if you will, the next step is quickly approaching, where you need to have something that is going to be usable right here and now. Kaspa's already usable, but it's not got the adoption it needs, so you want to make it, you want to bring that value back. The way you do that is by doing what they're doing. This RTD, internet money flows, VPOGs, all these elements that have all the capabilities to be perceived as completely revolutionary and this new monetary base layer. Something that KRI also desperately want. They want ZK badly, KRI. That's something that's going to be coming out now, hopefully in the next year, should the timeline stay true. Price sucks. Price will probably go down a bit more from here as well. Of course, not financial advice, always do your own research, but this is the sort of information that we now have at hand. We can see what's coming. And it's also stuff that I've been talking about with my VIP for quite some time now. Still believe very much that 2026 is going to be a very, very, very big year. Still believe that. But what you're seeing right now, what these institutions are talking about right now, what my premium insights and alpha sources talk about right now, is real world assets, namely infrastructure. That's where the money's going to go to. You're going to see more coming in next year, but that's where the money is heading towards. Infrastructure, utility. It's where it's the inevitable next step. Kaspa for me is the strongest one. There are going to be other ones out there that also perform quite well. If you want to find out more, check out the VIP, links are down below in the description. You can join for a 7-day free trial. Equally, you can join for a 1-month free trial through our BYDFI affiliated exchange. You can find that information about that and how to do so in the Discord server right here in the Get VIP Access channel. Once you do that, send me a message as well and I'll sign you up to that as well. You can learn a lot more on there, or documentation regarding where we're going, the next catalyst coming through, like regulatory frameworks, like certain banks and when they're going to be coming into the space, which we have a timeline for where someone going to get in. So we are preparing and positioning our capital accordingly to when that big pump's going to come in, because it's going to be a massive floodgate opening. We're looking through institutions from banks and whatnot and doing trades at the same time as well. There have been 2 trades that actually came through recently that the trader Lambo I finally managed to get some off him. He's been a bit shocked by a bit busy, but we have 2 traders in there, and Lambo did finally give me some P&Ls of our last 2 recent trades. We had this one here, and equally had this one here as well. So we've been doing well on the VIP in regards to gains as well, despite these corrective behaviors. So you want to find out more, level up your investing knowledge, become a better trader, everything like that, check out the VIP. Links are down below in the description. Utilize those free trials and stay ahead of the game, as this space is going to start leveling up a lot more so going forward as well. And we want to make sure we're positioned accordingly to what's going to take shape. Now, before we get into any more content, you better drag that above Bitcoin and especially XRP. I mean, Kaspa is top of the list. I'm probably somewhat confused, honestly, but Kaspa is top of the list for being the foundational layer, definitely. Infrastructure, definitely. Welcome back, Thor. We as retail need to try and understand how investors did it in research and patience, methinks. Oh yeah, I mean, all the most successful investors, besides having, everything comes down to luck, of course, but luck can also be paired with research. Like the gains that I have made in this cycle already, when I was in that meme coin bubble, it was luck, but there was elements of research and analysis that I had done to help me make the right picks, to get lucky with the right picks. That's all it is research. So research definitely happens, and patience, of course. It understands where you're going as well. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, well, I it's not that serious, crypto. I can put it up there if you want. There you go. Sure. How much Kaspa do you have? I'm a shark. I've been preaching the space. It has become a partner with me, daddy. Space that begs to capture the institutions crypto is invented to free us from them. Yes, true. But freeing us from them is inevitably never going to happen. That's also, like, crypto was originally created to be free us from them. That's why there's a big pushback for a long, long time. Now they accepted crypto, but they don't want crypto. They want the seamless integration between the two. That's what we're going to see next. What you're going to end up seeing in the future is Kaspa, hopefully be Kaspa, becoming the HTTP for the financial backbone, the financial rails. You won't recognize that Kaspa's doing it unless you are at this stage we're at right now and we are involved in the early ecosystem where we know what's taking place. But most people in the general public, 90% of the population, won't know Kaspa as a cryptocurrency. They might know Kaspa through the grapevine, same way how we know HTTP. We might know Kaspa in a similar aspect going forward. Rimunya, not yet Wing Hong though, hopefully soon enough though. And yeah, I see Rizzy saying, and Dung saying I was a fish. Yeah, I said I was a fish. And I was informed by certain people that was that satire or not. Because if it is, that's a very, very bad joke. And I said it was satire. So yeah, I'm not a fish. I said I was a fish to downplay it because I don't. But they said if you're gonna say what category you're in, you should be honest about it. So I was like, okay, I was just making a joke about it. I am a shark. Apologies for that. Welcome back, Bene, who's doing very, very well. Wealth Ranger, the typical Kaspa Foster's back. When Kaspa to 0.0001 cent. Who knows? Who knows? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Come back in 2029 probably. I mean, 4 years time, Kaspa could definitely be in a much better spot. I'm wholeheartedly believe it will be. I'll be there to buy massively. Great stuff. The others will not survive because of the Cantillon effect. Kaspa is the only asset that actively attacks all vectors and leads to the success of the Cantillon effect. Right, okay, I see where you're coming from now. Okay, cool. And yeah, no, I agree. Again, talking on that Cantillon effect, about, to reiterate it, when new money enters the economy, it doesn't raise all prices equally. It basically just benefits the ultra wealthy 1% while making the lower population, the middle to low class, have to pay more. So it hurts us more when new money enters the economy. Kaspa's the only asset that would be new money that wouldn't hinder us. If you bring XRP or Ethereum or Solana or any other centralized entities into the economy, it will hinder all of us, except for the ones who got in really, like the ultra wealthy that got in really, own most of it. Kaspa, it wouldn't happen like that. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to, Crypto. The updates keep coming. I know they do, Indigenous. Welcome back. There's been a lot coming out right now for Crypto and Kaspa, so it has been continuous streams of content right now. I've been meaning to make a video for a while, and I keep getting preoccupied with everything else going on right now. I had the luxury also to make an interview on my channel recently as well with Levendi, one of the developers, or not developers, sorry, but one of the very integrated members of the Kaspa community who've been doing a lot, building a lot. They're trying to build a media platform right now as well, which is, huge. So interview here to understand more so on the perception of Levendi. I'm going to do more interviews on this channel as well. I'm going to get his partner in crime, Chris, from the Blockchain Banter boards on here soon enough as well. And then I'll try to also expand into other ecosystems as well, trying to get more more ideas, more impressions, more perceptions on this channel as well from what people believe in this space and Kaspa. But I'm sure every one of us also wholeheartedly agree that this post here as well. Do you think Rory O'Neill can send Kaspa to the moon? I think Rory O'Neill, as a representative of the KRI and DRI, I think if they are true in their vision and what they want to utilize Kaspa for, which I do believe they are, I believe if that is the case, then I think they will showcase to the wider institutional public and governments the benefit and value of Kaspa, and then they'll choose to adopt it. Because the whole premise of why this was originally created, KRI, was to be able to build out their infrastructure, their projects they had in play, which required scalable infrastructure, but also wanted to have it decentralized, so it'd stay out of, have higher security, but also stay out of governmental and authoritarian control. If Kaspa succeeds, which I believe it will do, and KRI and their partners, DRI and their partners, benefit of this, you'll probably see the other governments and other institutions being like, oh, okay, well, why would I choose the same thing then? It's incredibly quick, it's secure, scalable, and also I haven't got to worry about anyone taking control of it because it's decentralized. All you can do is just get more miners, but even then there'll be so many miners on board at that point. All the Bitcoin miners will come into Kaspa, there's no doubt about that. Marathon are already mining Kaspa, so they'll have a bit of a head start, I guess. Welcome back, Lau, bro. You're doing very, very well. Kaspa is the only thing that can handle the rails, I agree. Welcome back, Double D, my man. Now the effect to proof of stake, where they get more voting power and more issuance from staking because they have more money than the average person. Boom, every proof of stake is captured. I mean, yeah, proof of stakes, the underlying, the proof of stakes were in the same way how our financial economy is failing due to fiat not having any inherent utility, or no, fiat just being able to be printed out of thin air, is no energy. It is proof of stakes are in a similar aspect, and decentralized control is ultimately what allows it to fail, because it's always a very, very easy attack vector with proof of stakes. You find the validator, you attack them, but the same validator every time. If you go to a proof of work consensus, you can't attack it as easily, if at all. I'm trading my entire bag of Kaspa for Hex and Pulse Chain. Good luck, brother. Good luck indeed. What's up? Antonio's doing very, very well, brother. Good to have you back, my man. Take a long walk off a short beer, my friend. Welcome back, Greg Ban, who's been very, very well. Is Kaspa the only real crypto, not cypherpunk project left? I'd argue yes. It is the last frontier. We are the resistance. I'd argue yes. Welcome back, baby daddy. Big Coswell up in the house once more, my man. What is the difference between Cascade version 1 Oracle and QXT Oracle Negra? That's a good question. I would have to look that up for you and give you an answer later on. I couldn't give you the answer top of my head right now. I haven't looked too much into it. I did give a bit of a rundown of QXT Oracle yesterday, but I couldn't give you a comparison between the two right now. If you ask a question in my Discord community, I'm sure someone can give you an answer. If not, then I'll find an answer for you and provide you that in due time. But I need to do more research on my behalf, though. I don't even know what he said. Oh, that one. Yeah, to be fair, okay, I'm viewing it. I'm not showing on screen. I appreciate the first one, Del. The second one is a crazy comment, and the third one, third one is this one. Let me show it. No, it won't actually let me show it because Crypto only banned it, which is perfectly fine. I think you're in your power and your right to do that. But that was a diabolical comment about the hairline. Weirdly enough, I was contemplating it, but maybe you get a Christmas gift for that. Who knows? Maybe I feel maybe I could just show that off later on. Who knows? I'm not as self-conscious. I give it off, but I do wear a hat all the time because well, bald. Kaspa Fair launch model is built for the parabolic run. Wallets are spreading out with the biggest at 4%. Yeah, we can actually look at that right now. If we look at Kaspa stream, we can see the wallet allocation right now. Wallet 1 has 4.6%, wallet 2 3.6, 3.1, basically 3% there, 2.95, 2.7, 2. Big wallets here, haven't been buying any recently actually. But you're seeing the movements taking place right now. Look on the last day, anything significant. So you've had some big outflows from Kraken here. And you've seen some big inflows as well. So it looks like Kraken have been kind of shifting between wallets here. Mexi as well. I had to sell my kid for... That's crazy. I have no idea who Del Powder is. If it was Mr. Miles's like second or third alt account, then I believe that to be the case, but I have no idea who it actually is. I recognize most of Mr. Miles's alt accounts, but I don't think that's him. Yes, you're welcome. There you go. It's above. Like it was the reason why it was number 1, 2, and 3 is because that's the top, that's the second one, that's the third biggest altcoin, and then Kaspa for me is just the next. Like that's the one I actually care about. That's why it was in that order: first biggest crypto, second biggest, third biggest, then Kaspa. But if you want it to be that way around, I'll do it that way around. I can't lie, I'm gonna do it that way around just because Bitcoin not being top for me. Kaspa still makes a conviction, but Bitcoin just for me, I think it stays top for a little bit longer. Don't bite my head off. Yeah, no, yeah. So I mentioned, yeah, as I mentioned a while back that I was a fish, but it was a satire joke. I'm actually a shark. The difference between us and them, we say, sure, you can use our technology, just make sure you do it honestly. They beg to be controlled by institutions. Oh yeah, you got Ripple and XRP. They are actively trying to get ICOs and get partnerships and all this stuff, and they have quite a few. To my knowledge, they do work a lot. Apparently, have a partnership with Bank of America. They are using their technology apparently. And while we want the adoption, while we believe we should have the adoption, and we're creating the infrastructure to make it worthwhile to be used, we're not begging for it in the same aspect. We're not selling our souls. We create infrastructure that is being recognized by institutions and entities. Again, think about what Jonathan Sompolinsky said a little while back. I don't think I'll be able to find the post very, very quickly, which is a shame, unless I'm lucky. But you only mentioned how he went to the event in Abu Dhabi, where he spoke with individuals there, and they were very, very excited about what we had to talk about with BlockDAG. They're going to be... Twitter's so weird sometimes as well. Sometimes posts that I've made are only showing up in replies. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Jonathan Belinsky mentioned how he was... when he mentioned about the funding Kaspa to keep it up and running, he also mentioned at the latter half of that paragraph how he'd gone to Abu Dhabi, met with Solana's team, met with Zcash's team, and equally met with Near Protocol and some others as well at that team, at that event, and all of them loved the idea of DAG, and they wanted to find a way to push it out to get its recognition. So that for me is a big, big deal. I showed the video actually a few streams back of one of the alpha sources. Here it is. I spent the last 2 days Abu Dhabi with Zcash, Solana, Mert's team, and the Near protocol, as well as others. They really loved the idea of DAG. They were interested in it, and they'll speak on how to give it more attention, and then make sure it does. That's huge in my belief. That's very, very huge. Very huge indeed. So I think Kaspa is then again at a very, very strong spot. Very strong spot. And hearing that is great because it makes me believe again that a lot of the crypto institutions or crypto developers, those who came up from that grassroots space, they're actually reversing back to democratizing, true democratization. Institutional adoption is coming through, it's fantastic, but we need to take true democratization, stopping the control that could come with it. What's the latest on the Fed printing money? Jesus is king. I haven't heard too much from it. I just know that they mentioned that starting December 12th, which it has been 5 days now, they start the process of purchasing back. I think it was 30 billion. No, was it? How much was it? I think I put it in my VIP update, so I'll be able to find it there. It was 40 billion in 30 days. So they would have started purchasing some of that back now. ETH 0 sold 0 cap at 15k in 27 market. Frame it. Well, if you're right, then we are all sitting on literal diamonds right now. Are we going to see some collabs? In some elements, I guess. I mean, that was part of the reason why I wanted to go to Tokenize London XL at the beginning of the month, to just actually connect with people and see if I can try and reach out a bit more. Because as much as I've been doing what I've been doing for a while now, and I love doing it, you're not here, I want to bring more value to what I'm doing, and also benefit the VIPs as well. And that regard, trying to bring more value at my game. So interviews and stuff is great. I did one beginning of the week, or yesterday even, with Vivendi. I'm going to do another one as well soon enough as well. I have at least 2 more lined up, and if I can get more, I will get more. But yeah, I hope we'll see some collabs coming through. I know I'm going to be participating in Wolfie's Wolfie Bar AMA tomorrow at 9 p.m. my time, which is 23 hours from now. And that's going to be interesting as well. Smart money is accumulating. It looks like that. It does. Didn't get into the next round of my job interview. Sorry to hit that banana. Really, really am. I was sad until I realized 2 things. 1, I'm still employed with a good job. 2, I hold the greatest asset on the planet that nobody knows about, Kaspa. Well, that's good to hear. It's sad you didn't get into this job you're trying to go for, but you still got a job. That in itself is good. You still got income coming in. And of course, holding Kaspa equally is a benefit as well. I mean, I'm the similar thing with all the jobs that I also work alongside doing this. It's a blessing that we can still be in the position we're in right now, where I can still hold my Kaspa and don't have to take any out, because I've got enough capital inflows coming in. That keeps me level. Comment for the hard fork. Yeah, 3 to 6 months from now, going to be crazy. 2026 is going to be crazy for Kaspa, no doubt about it. I think you are right. Kaspa's going to explode in 2 years. I'm going to put it all in a cold wallet and forget about it. It's not a bad shout, Erica. Honestly, it's not a bad shout. Good to have you back here in the channel and the stream once again. But yeah, I think Kaspa's going to take some time. We've been saying it for a while. Of course, it was back in the day, it was always, 2025 is going to be insane. And we've seen the evolution of the market, the manipulation of the market, the restructure of the market, this whole aspect here now. We're going to see 2026 be a big year for me. Although there are definitely some points of concern, which I have labeled to my VIPs, and I will, in regards around NVIDIA and AI bubble, some other elements as well that we're taking a close eye on. But I think once that boom and bust happens, and then the recovery comes after that, the ones that will survive Kaspa for me will be one of them. No, I never got up to the status of a whale for XRP. I had quite a lot, and I of course got it into it at 50 cents and then sold a lot of it when it made that run up, and now I'm completely out of it. And I'll put a lot into other projects and then stable coins. And then when the big flush happened, when Bitcoin lost 98k, which I publicly announced, and I told my VIPs a week or 2 beforehand, but I publicly announced it here. Once we lose 98k, I'm going to hold stable coins. I'm going to sell everything besides Kaspa, and I did. I've been buying Kaspa in these dips. Some other assets here and there. I didn't sell everything. Some assets that I spoke to my VIPs about, I still hold. But Kaspa is one that I have not taken a dime out. No, not diamonds, Kaspa. Nothing will be as scarce. Kaspa is going to be its own asset class. Well, I wait for the day it happens, brother. I really, really do. With that being said, family, that does conclude today's Kaspa crypto live stream. We are seeing continuous developing and building onto Kaspa right now, which is fantastic. More builders coming involved. Crypto is dead. It's evolving. It's migrating into this new era, this new element. KRI, I think, is even more relevant now and more important for what they're doing. Of course, we want to see actual developments. We want to see actual progress, if you will, to what they're doing, so we can have some proof of what they're working on, besides just words. I'm sure we'll see that soon enough as well. What we're talking about here, coincides to what we're talking about here, and this for me is extremely big news. So I'm very, very optimistic. We're going to see the market structure build seemingly is progressing quite nicely. There's still elements we're talking about right now, but TLDR is a good meeting, and they're looking forward to continuing the progress in the new year. So we'll see that come out, and that will be a good catalyst, I believe, for the foundation of crypto as well. So more to come, family. If you want to find out more, again, level up your trading in crypto game, check out the VIP. Equally, check out the free Discord server. You can find everything about crypto, Kaspa, and the VIP, and even BYDFI in there. Links down below in the description. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening, good night. Leave a like, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care now.